Okay, so today we're going to talk about why I joined EXP. It's been 4 years now since I joined, and I want to get into the three main reasons why I chose this brokerage over many others that were looking. And I'm going to try out this little remarkable thing that I have. So I'm going to share my screen and try to walk you through that. So hopefully this will work. Okay, the first reason I joined EXP was for the capacity to earn, right? When you talk about earning income, this is something that having your license and being with any brokerage is going to allow you to do. The other piece was the flexibility, right? And I'll dive into that a little bit later of their worldwide and across the US impact. And then the third piece were the benefits. So these were the three overall reasons that I joined EXP. And so now we're going to dive into each of these three a little further. And please excuse my chicken scratch. We mostly type nowadays anyway. And so with EXP, I like the ability to earn actively, right? And when you talk about active income, they have an 80-20 split, 80% going to you, 20% going to the brokerage until you cap at $16,000. And this is for a solo agent. And this is pretty low compared to a lot of the other brokerages in the industry. But what sets EXP apart is the fact that one, they operate across all 50 states as well as multiple other countries. It's the third largest brokerage. But because it's an all cloud brokerage, what they do with these fees is completely different from what a lot of others do in the industry. Most others are using these fees so they can pay for the offices and the land that they have, whereas EXP doesn't have that, right? They're a cloud brokerage. So they take half of these fees and they give it back to the agents to incentivize the agents to help each other and to incentivize the agents to help agents that they've brought on be successful. And they do that in the form of the passive way that you can earn. And so there's also a passive way to earn with EXP, right? And from a passive standpoint, the people that you bring on to EXP, i.e., you, right? If I sponsor you, right, and you join EXP, then EXP takes half of what they get from the brokerage fee, so 8,000, and they give it to the people that actually sponsor. So for example, if I sponsor you, I am not only have the goodwill of my heart to help you, but I'm also incentivized through EXP with the dollars they're going to give me on every deal that you close to help you along. So if you call me at 9 p.m., in a panic, like, hey, I don't know how to work through this, I'm probably going to answer the phone and help you, right? And try to make sure that you are going to be successful so that we can all be successful. And so that's a way to do passively. They also give you stock, right? And there's three ways to earn stock. One is with the first transaction that you close each year that you're with EXP. They'll give you some stock for the longevity and staying with EXP. Second is if you hit that icon status. Icon status, it shifts from year to year, but essentially it's a top producer in the industry. It means you're closing, more than the normal amount. I've personally been an icon for 3 years now, and gonna be a fourth year here very soon. And then when you look at the employee stock purchase plan, right, this is where you're allowed to purchase stock at a 5% discount, and you can contribute a portion of the commissions that you make toward that employee stock purchase plan, and then you can sell that stock whenever you want. And so I'll send you some more details on this so you can dig deeper, but this is the earning capacity. When I first joined, the first month that I was a part of EXP, really not the first month that I earned something from somebody that had joined underneath me at EXP was January of 2023. And the earnings that I had for that month that were passive were $31. I just looked at the numbers of what I made in April of 2026. And keep in mind, I've been focusing on producing and building my team and working through that. And so this hasn't been a focus for me. It's going to become more of a focus. But in April of 2026, 3 years later, that amount was 1251. That was paid out for 1 month, right? And so that's a 40x improvement in 3 years. If I'm even able to 5x that in the next 2 or 3 years, that becomes significant income that you can then use for other investing or to cover some of your expenses, which is pretty incredible. So that's the earning piece. From a flexibility piece, again, I've mentioned it before. This is the first cloud brokerage that was around. There's a few other copycats that have come into the industry and they've tried to be more aggressive with splits and things of that nature. But what they're starting to find is that that's not actually viable. EXP has been around long enough to tease this system out and build it in a way that's viable to be here for the long run. Some of the newer brokerages that are coming in and trying the system and trying to alter certain pieces are starting to run into financial issues for that reason. But I like the cloud brokerage aspect because when I came in, I was working a full-time W-2. I was still in medical device sales while helping clients as a realtor, and I needed to be able to have that flexibility to work my W-2 and this while I made the transition after I built up enough volume. The other piece is EXP World. EXP World is essentially like a Sims environment, and I'm probably dating myself, but you pop in there and you have this avatar that you can create, and it looks, similar to you, and you're able to go and talk to the brokers at any time in the day. You're able to jump into trainings. You're able to go and do meetings and go do trainings and auditorium things and really get what you need taken care of at any time. It's not waiting on a specific broker to get free that may be in a meeting because they have multiple brokers for each state that you can talk to. And so this has been more than helpful. And then the agent centric approach has been awesome, right? When you join EXP, if you've never sold real estate before, then one, you select a sponsor, and that sponsor should be able to help you through a lot of this. Anybody that selects me as a sponsor, I set up one on one calls to consistently check in and make sure they're doing okay. And I also invite them to my team calls so that we can make sure that the learnings that I'm teaching my team that you get as well. And then they also pair you with a separate mentor who's going to help you through the first three deals, and that person's incentivized to help you as well. And so that's as agent centric as it gets. It's not a broker who hasn't sold real estate, in many years that's trying to coach you on how to do it in 2026 or whatever year we're in right now. It is agents that are actively out in the field making it happen, that know what the environment is today, that are helping coach you through that and tell you what you actually need. And then the final piece, because this was super important for me, when I left my W-2, I was getting ready to start a family, and I'd been in medical device sales at a Fortune 500 healthcare company. So the healthcare benefits were amazing. And so one of the things I was nervous about that made me wait to make the jump was how do I make sure we're still going to be able to have the type of healthcare that we had before? And EXP offers quality healthcare options. I research them, I research others. And because EXP is the third largest brokerage with, I think now over 80,000 agents, they just had some pretty cool plans where I was able to, continue to contribute to an HSA while having some coverage, while being able to get the dental division, all the things that made it a lot easier to make that jump. And so these are the three reasons that I moved to EXP. If there's any questions that you have, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Feel free to reach out. My contact is below.